Hey guys, today I'll be bringing you something a little bit different here. Today we're looking at a really rare little car here. This is a 1980 200SX, probably the nicest condition ones I've ever seen. And I just thought you guys might like to see this thing. We're going to see if we can't get it started. It's been sitting for about 5 years. And so right now I've done a little bit of work on it, just testing the spark, ignition, the fuel injection system. Everything's working there. Got to the back and the fuel pump was locked up originally, but unfortunately the tank is stopped up and it's full to the rim of gas. So I'm going to try to blow some air back through the lines, see if I can get the thing unstopped here. But that's about all I've done to it. Yeah, I'll just give you a good walk around this car. This is what they call the hardtop model, not the hatchback. They had a hatchback version as well, but it's a pretty cool little car. It needs a good cleaning, of course. It's got the sunroof in it. Go here, and this interior is what's really cool too. You can definitely tell it's 80s. It's in really nice shape here. It's got this cool pattern. Yeah, seat's in great shape. Walk on around here. Yeah, the only damage it's got is actually on the other side. It's even got the matching wheels. It's got the little D for Datsun on the wheels there. It's really cool. It's got the D on the hood. Of course, the grille. It's a real sporty little car. About the only place it's got damage is right here on the back. Somebody sideswiped her, unfortunately. But it's a one-owner car. It's been owned by the same owner since new in 1980. Yeah, just a really cool car. Let's see how many miles it's got on it here. Let's see here. It's got 113,272 miles on it there. Pretty cool. This was a pretty luxury model too. It's a 5-speed, manual 5-speed there. It's really cool. It's this little Datsun symbol there. But yeah, something else that's kind of neat about this car. This little chime it has. We'll put the key in. Has a little mechanical chime there. But actually, you can hear it turns over. We're not getting any fuel, so I got to work on that here. Let me pop to it. I'll show you guys the engine real quick. The hinges need to be oiled. It's got these cool little vents on the hood too, kind of like the 78 280 a little bit. So I can figure out how to do this. Got it right there. So here's our engine bay. And it's got what they call the Z engine, not to be confused with the Z car engine. But this is actually a different style engine. It's based off the L series block. It's a different design altogether, but it is based off the L series engine. But it's got a cross flow head, so you got your injectors over here, your exhaust on the other side. So it's a cross flow design, and they call it the Z engine. I think it's like a 1.2 liter. I recall. It's just a real small little engine, but it's pretty neat. Yeah, here's our tag right here. It's a 1952 CC. It's pretty cool little stuff here. But you don't see these cars. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to show you guys this. I've already charged the battery. I was able to revive this battery, but you can see it was dated 2020. So that's the last time this car actually ran. But same botch L-Jetronic system that you find on the Z car, the 280. And then down here, yeah, here's your airflow meter tucked in down there on this one. This is your air box. Right here, this is a breather right here what comes in. But anyways, let me get the camera set up here. We're going to, I'm going to get under the car so I can get this fuel tank fixed. And we'll go from there. Well, I managed to take some compressed air here And I got the line cleared out. You can see, made quite a mess there. But now I'm getting the pump out. Here's your pump right here in the middle of the car. So I pulled this bracket down. The pump's right under here. It's not running. I had it unstuck the last time I was here. Of course, it's just got rust stuff in it. So what I'm actually going to do is put a filter on it here. I'm going to drop this plate here down. Your pump's actually bolted right here on the little rubber pad for noise cancellation there on it. And then we're going to do that. But let's kind of look under the car here. You can see, I don't know how much that you can see, but we got floor pans. Everything's still solid all along this car here. As far as Datsun, that's rare. So it's in really good shape. But I'm going to get this panel here dropped. So I got a new fuel pump for it, but there's no reason to put it in with all that rust. So I'll show you what I'm going to be doing. I got a Wix filter here. We put between the pump and the tank just till I get some of that stuff cleared out. Basically what I got to do is I'm going to try to run the fuel out of this car, drop the tank, and I've got a rust treatment. I'll show you guys how I've done on my Z tanks, and they do really good. It's the stuff by S-Bright Performance, so shout out to you guys at S-Bright Performance. That stuff really works. I'm going to be doing it probably to this tank here once we get it down far enough where I can pull the tank without being absolutely full to the rim of fuel. But anyways, I'm going to drop this down and I'll show you what this looks like. Alright guys, it's actually a few days later here. Boy, I got myself in a pickle last time I was here. So as mentioned, I was going to put in that fuel pump and that filter. Well, this is 7/16 line. You can't find it anywhere. And so I decided I was going to cut it or to put the filter in line with it. And every time I go to shove the filter in, it would just rip, as you can see, and crack. And so I had to kind of like stick something in the line, tighten it down, and order the line. I went to the parts store. They don't carry 7/16. And so that was quite a fiasco. But as you can see, I have just got back to the car here, and I got the fuel pump mounted with the fuel filter. I had some line for my 280Z that's currently out off the road, so I went and robbed the line off bit so I could just get this thing rigged in there. But I'm leaving it kind of dangling because we're not going to drive this car yet. It don't have any brakes or anything, and I need to run this thing low on fuel so I can drop the tank and do the rust treatment. I'm going to do the same rust treatment I did to my 280Z using S-Bright Performance stuff. I'll show you guys the process of that as well when I get to that point. But it's a new day. We'll just see if this thing will actually crank up. I did get it to run, but we had quite a mess. I had to let the gas dry up. We had gas just everywhere because I was trying to block that line off, and every time I'd stick something in there to block it off, or I would put a pair of vice grips on it, it just ripped right through it. So I got myself in a pickle. Like I say, it was kind of one of those scary moments. But this is what it does today. Let's see if it'll run. Now, something neat about this car is that before you start, you put the key in, and we're going to start. If you just bump the key just a little bit without turning the engine over, you can hear the fuel pump run. It primes the system. Sounds like it's running. It's running pretty good here. Sounds like it's running really good. Next, I'm going to roll this window down. Makes it a little easier. I've checked the oil. It needs some cooling. Got a little coolant. Yeah, it's running. Make sure we don't need gas leaks. Looks like it's dry. So what I'm going to do now, I didn't run it very long last time. I'm going to let it get up to tilt, make sure the thermostat opens, make sure this little engine's going to run okay on its own. The thermostat, let's see if I can figure where this goes. The thermostat's right down there, so it's a little tricky to get to there, but running good. Let me go get some coolant put in this thing. Alright, I just topped off the coolant on this car. Let's see if the, we don't have any brakes. I mean, the pedal just goes to the floor. But I want to see if the clutch works. So let's put this thing in reverse. It'll go in reverse. There it goes. And I'm going to leave the emergency brake on. We're going to just see if it weakens the engine here. Yep, so we got a clutch. I use the emergency brake one hand here, and we'll just see if it rolls back a little bit. Yeah. Looks like it's rolling. That's good, but we don't have any brake. Whoop, still in gear, there we go. Yeah, so it does actually go into gear. So it goes forward. Still got the emergency brake on too. Yep, first gear works. So yeah, clutch is working, that's a good sign. So we're going to just let it sit here and get warm. I want to see, make sure the thermostat opens, make sure this thing flows, and then we're going to start on brakes. Oh boy. Also, just to show you too right quick, from last week I was here, I got the fuel pump and everything still removed. We replaced the fuel pump, but I got the damper removed. This is what quietens up the fuel pump noise. Of course, the fuel pump's not mounted right now, so it's really quiet anyways. But basically, this is the bracket, and I'll show you that in more detail when we get ready to put this thing back together. Let's see what all works in this car. Let me, that door side alarm goes off. So I think these are your headlights. Well, so we got headlights. Got your high beams, low beams. You can see them out the window there. Got your running lights. Let's see what the radio does here. The antenna's not up, but this is kind of interesting. This is how you pan the stereo in this car. Feel like right hand's working. Front, rear. These dirty pots. That's interesting. So that's the little radio in it. It actually says Datsun on it there. It's kind of cool. I think it's made by Clarion. Clarion? I believe it is. There's your antenna switch there. I was trying to watch our temperature as well here. When they get up to temp, so we can see if all the thermostat and everything's working. You got an AC button. You got bi-level heat. I don't know if I want to try heat or not. Let's try it and see. Let's go to heat. Here we go. I'm always a little. Yeah, we've got heat coming out. Looks like the heater core is working and still hooked up. It's pretty neat. Let's see if the cigarette lighter works. Don't know if it's working or not. Yeah, appears to be. Look at that. Feature long lost in cars right there. Yeah. That's what's in the glove box. Oh, look at that. We still have the owner's manual here. Right off there. Put that back on there here in a minute. Oops. Yeah, the Datsun owner's manual. Pretty cool. It's Pretty neat. We also got the it's like the log booklet. So yeah, service log. Yep. Look at that. Let's see what we got in here. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Oh, this is just a so we're doing good temperature-wise. I think this is your warranty information. I think is what that's kind of for. So we got an eye scraper, tire gauge. What is that? A badge? Yeah. So we got some original badges here for something. 200SX. That may be for the sides. I haven't really looked. I know this car has been repainted one time, so that could be from the painting. Oh, let me put this label back in there real quick. There we go. Yeah, it's a pretty neat little car. I was thinking about it. This is definitely like a, if you're an Alabama's fan, football fan, this would definitely be your car. It's got the pattern, the red color outside. You know, the actual owner that owned this car passed away, unfortunately, but his wife is still around who actually has this car, and so I'm just kind of helping her get it going again after setting. But looks like the power steering works. I won't try the horn yet. I don't want to scare her. She's inside the house. But yeah, it's a pretty neat little car. It's got a little bitty back seat in it here. A little sun damage back there. Little vinyl wrinkling there. Got the sunroof here. Let's see. Catalytic converter. Talking about this car is equipped with a catalytic converter. Yeah, it sounds like we're running pretty good here. Temperature is doing great. The more it runs, the better it's running, actually. Something else I just noticed about this car, it has these little buttons over here. It has electric mirrors. They still work. So the other side works. Yeah. Look at that. That's pretty cool. This thing was pretty luxury back in its day. Turn signals work. Pretty cool. Alright, thermostat just opened. Not running hot at all. It's been running for about 20 minutes. Just a little above center position on our temp gauge. Our sending unit don't work, so it's always at E. Oil pressure's good. It's charging. Check out these cool old. It actually has a warning system on this car, which is kind of interesting. There's our brake lights on, our emergency brakes on. Also, we are still reviving the pedal. I'm just kind of letting it naturally bleed. We're starting to get a little brake pedal to it. I'm going to pull the wheels and do a bleed on it. See if our brakes recover. This one actually was so luxury, it had the little floats that will show you your level. Your brakes. So they don't look too good. It purrs after sitting for about 5 years. It's doing pretty good. Alright, we'll get this thing in the air, get the wheels off, and we'll see about doing the brakes. Alright, so let's get one of these wheels removed, see what we're dealing with here. Gotta be careful too, because I don't want to break this original hubcap. There you go. There we go, just like that. There's one of the original, the camera, I can see it here. There's one of the original, original hubcaps here. It's pretty cool. We'll set that over here so I don't break it. And let's see what size lugs we have here. These are little bitty wheels. Those are like 14s. What are these? These are 14. 75R 14 tires on this rascal. Let's see. If it's standard, I'm gonna be shocked. It's about the only metric impacts I have. There we go. It's gonna be it's like a 21 millimeter. Go. It's gonna move. I have to get a breaker bar on this one. Let me go get a breaker bar and come back. Alright, then I got my breaker bar. Let me lower the car back down here. Get off the jack stand. I gotta get this tire where it's on the ground so I can use the weight of the car to help break loose the so we may can leave one side in, just kind of let it spoon both. There we go. The car definitely hasn't moved in a long time. You can see all the cobwebs and these guys here are really tight. Yeah, somebody really put these on there. What I'm going to have to do is moving the whole wheel. Wish I had my coil with me. I got some WD-40 penetrating. We'll see how it does. Never have really used our penetration oil, just the regular WD-40. Put all the weight back on the wheel too. Put it in gear. Alright, let's see if I can get this guy to break loose. Boy, those rascals are tight. I'm still almost turning the wheel. Because this car is very light too. It's a very light car. That one there is really tight. You get the steering wheel to lock for me. Pull the key out. There we go. Get the steering wheel to lock. There we go. That helps a lot. There we go. Alright. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side while I got the car down. Alright, let's get this side here off as well. Again, being careful not to break the hubcap. Those are really cool. So I lost one of the clips. Where did that clip go? Looks like it rusted in half. Okay. Now that may be a problem there. Just going to put a little penetrating on these. They're not bad rusted, but just to help. Don't hurt. Alright. This in here broke free. I'm not a huge fan of this breaker bar because it has this curve in it right here. So you get a lot of side momentum, but that's all I've really got. Change my angle here a little bit. Pull up instead of push down. Yeah, there we go. That was really tight. Somebody really torqued these wheels on there. Okay. There we go. Alright, we got them loose enough now we can jack the car back up. And we'll just start with this side since I'm already here. Let me get my jack raised back up. high enough to get my jack stands under there. There we go, there's one. And there's two. Let me just ease the car onto the jack stands. Set okay. Looks like they did. Just always put a little pressure back on the jack. There we go. Now, that wheel's still rubbing a little bit. Let's get it up a little bit higher. Let's try this. Try that. It's much better. Now we should be able to. Yeah, that wheel's tight still too. Alright. Let's go over here and break this wheel up. Much better. There we go. Just put it over here out of the way. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, those rotors are definitely a bit rusted. Pads don't look bad. So I can break the caliper free a little bit here, maybe. So let me go get the wheel to turn for me so I can turn this back toward me. There we go. I can see what I'm doing. Lots of cobwebs. And these brake pads, or these calipers, these are dual cylinder setup. Well, I take that back, these do not. I'm used to the Z. These use a single cylinder in the back, but the other ones have a cylinder on both the front and back, so these are a single cylinder. May work in our favor. What I may have to do though, to get this to work, we got to loosen up a little bit. I need to get this caliper to move without breaking our brake pads. Alright, let me figure this out real quick. That's what size that is to remove that. Because actually what you have, if this is anything like the other ones I worked on. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is new for me as well, so bear with me here while I study this thing. Put a little. It looks like the brake pads are held in with these screws right here, which is very odd. Yeah, there we go. And there's our clip that holds them. Pull that clip out. Well, I say that, it looks like they're just turning in there. Huh, what about that? I'll make sure we get this pin. So that pin holds them in there. I may have to get some pliers and kind of pull on these rascals. I can't get a screwdriver there to do it. Let me go get some pliers real quick. I'll be right back. Let me bring you in here so I can show you what I'm talking about here. So I got some pliers and I was able to pull them out, but they have this keeper, which I've got loose here, but they basically slide in, and then they look like screw heads, but they're not. But what we got to do is get those out of there. So I'm going to use some pliers, kind of grab them, and luckily they're not seized in there. So there's one of them. Right there, it's just a pin, as you can see, like so. And we got this keeper you slide in and you lock them in. It goes to the little holes in this thing. I don't know if you can see the hole in that or not. Yeah, right there you can kind of see lights shining through it. And basically this clip goes in one of those, it locks into the other one. So when you swing that thing up, it locks these two in so they don't move. But that's how you free up your brake pads here. So our brake pad should slide out. I may have to take the caliper off to get them out. Guess like I'll have to. That one's actually, that's the one that's got the piston behind it. So this little tie. I want to see if I can drive that piston in, so when we bleed these things we can get full movement of that piston. Make sure it's going to be okay. We may have brake fluid leaking too, but right now all you see right now is just that penetrant I put on there just to help get those pins out. These are little guards right here. Get those out of the way. There we go. So yeah, it's a little bit different than a 280Z brake system, because on the 280 you have a piston and a piston. They're not as wide. They're a little bit more narrow. Yeah, this is only a single piston in the back. So, all right, let me get this caliper off and we'll see what we can do here. Okay, so I had to study this thing for a few minutes. So I went and got the hardware out of here. But the way this thing works is much different than what I thought. So this plate right here you see, this is actually connected to the piston back here. So the piston drives out that way, pulls this plate in on the front brake pad. Very different design. I'm still working on getting everything apart here, but I believe they bolt up. Yeah, it feels like they do bolt up kind of like a 280Z caliper on the back here. You got two big old bolts in the back. But this plate here, this is a sliding plate here. So that's how that works. That's just very odd to me. I've never seen one like this. So this whole assembly up here, this whole big plate moves. Much different than what I'm used to seeing here. But I've got it moving. I got this piston freed up. Got all this crap on my hand. Got it freed up here. So I'm going to see about bleeding it so I can get this thing to move okay. But so far I can take a screwdriver without the brake pad in there, and I can just kind of wedge in here and we can actually pull on it against the rotor like so, and it is actually moving. So the piston's moving fine on this side, but yeah, that's just a very odd design. I've never seen that. Not used to that design at all. So something new here. But let me get this thing bled. I've actually got I went to Harbor Freight and got a little vacuum pump here I'm going to put on it because I'm just one man today. So I would normally go in there and push the pedal in and bleed like normal. We're going to try to do this method, but we'll see what happens here. I didn't get to show you on the other side, but I will on this side here how I bleed this thing. So I'm using this little vacuum pump I bought from Harbor Freight. It's not that great, and the only reason it's not great is because this fitting doesn't fit our nipple that well, so I can't really see what's air that's coming out of the line and what's air just getting sucked in around it. That's the only drawback. Anyways, I got it's a 10 millimeter, and this is a pipe wrench. It's actually enclosed around the edges, so it actually will prevent rounding on this situation. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to break it loose first. I'm just kind of gravity feeding this thing like I mentioned. It's like it moves. Yeah, it's moving just fine. Well, that's why I like these wrenches here. You can kind of get on them and beat on them a little bit. You don't have to worry about it rounding. I'll open that thing up, see if I can. Yeah, it's already starting to leak fluid out. That's what we want to see. I can't get it to seal up on it, unfortunately, but it does let me catch most of it, so it don't go on the ground. Just trying to hold this container up too. I don't know if I could push that on there. Nice if I could. I'm also replacing the fluid inside the master cylinder with fresh fluid, so I'm waiting until I see fresh fluid come through it. Actually, this is naturally draining here. What I've also done too, with the caliper open, I can actually pull on this guy here and I can feel it collapse, which is also a good sign. That means that caliper is not stuck. Oops. I wish I could get this thing to seal up so I could put a vacuum on it though. Yeah, you can hear it sucking air around it. That's the only drawback. And I've tried all the different heads. Now Harbor Freight does sell a better quality one, and I've had one of those in the past, but it broke. So I thought this one here, because it's a good kit, you just need different little adapters here. The vacuum pump itself seems to be pretty good. I'm starting to see fresh fluid come through it now. Let me see if I can do it this way maybe. I think that hose is just too big. So I might could, that actually works. I'm using the hose to form a barrier around it. Now we're sucking some fluid through it. There we go. That's what I want to see right there. I still can't tell what's air bubbles that we've injected. Tighten this thing up right quick. Yeah, there we go. Got a vacuum on it. Let me make sure my master cylinder's still up here. It's getting a little low. Let me go top it off up here in the master cylinder. There we go. I'm starting to see some fresh fluid there now. Yeah, it's starting to look good there. It went from looking like dark maple syrup now to being a honey color. Yeah. I think that'll work me. I'll show you what I got out of this thing, just out of a little canister. Wrong direction. I'll come back with brake clean and clean all this thing up real good. Alright, so that's got the front brakes bled. We may still have a little air in there, but this will get us by for right now. Let me top that off again. The key thing is, don't run your master cylinder out of brake fluid when you do this, or else you have to start all over. You have to bleed out your master cylinder. Luckily, the master cylinder still had fluid in it. It was just low. But let's see if we got any brakes real quick. Let me just test this out. We're starting to get some brakes there now. Yeah, our pedal's coming back now. Alright. So yeah, we're starting to get brakes again. But I'll show you what came out of this thing. Let me zoom out here, I'll just show you. So that's what we got out of it. You can see that nasty, kind of looks like syrup. It's not, it's like real thin syrup there, almost like maple syrup. And basically I pumped it till I got some good clear. Now we still probably have some air in it based off the feel I had of that pedal. But at least now we know we're getting fluid to the calipers and the calipers are actually moving. So that's good. So that lets me know the calipers are actually working. Of course now it's got some tension on it there where I push the brake. So now we'll move to the back. Now the back I think is drums on this car, so it may be a little bit more tricky, but we'll see here. Alright, now the front wheels put back on. Actually I got the owner to come out and help me with the brake bleeding, to hold in the pedal and bled them real good. So we got that taken care of. The brakes seem to be working great. Now we're going to move to the back, do the back the same way. Like I said, I think it's got drums. We'll find out because I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure it probably has drums based off the era of this car. Most cars had discs in the front, drums in the back. Unless it's some really high performance car. But we'll move to the back here. Let me go and put these hubcaps back on here. And we'll go from there. Like I say, the whole goal right now is just to get this car up and going. We'll clean it and detail it later. Yeah, so they just snap in place. And there we go. Alright, let's start on this back wheel here. You know, it actually looks like we have disc brakes on the back. Just looking through the wheel here. That's what we got. Got these things broken loose earlier. Not a big fan of these swivel sockets because you lose some impact drive. All I had that was impact at the house. Alrighty. Oh yeah, that's a little disc brake. Look at that. Those are dinky little things. I don't think I've ever seen that. Let me bring you in here so you can see this thing. These guys are little. Of course your front brakes do most of the stopping anyways, but that's a little bitty rascal. It's like it's the same kind of setup where it uses this outside flange here as part of the compression to make up that count. Actually, it is exactly what it is because you can see how that's fixed onto it. So that front pad support. Boy, I don't know where you'd find those calipers if you needed them. But anyways, let's see if we can get this one here bled, and we'll go from there. Alright, I got our brake fluid topped off here at the front. Let me get where I can see my camera here, so I can see what you guys are actually looking at. Maybe better if I move you all over here. Let's try this. Let's see how this looks. Sorry for the noise. That may work better. Alright. I'm going to take my vacuum pump here. Let's see if I can break that bleeder loose. I've already got the master cylinder topped off. Yeah, these are moving no problem here. See if we get anything out of it. Let me go and put the emergency brake off. Everything. There we go. Now, interesting enough, this connector fits these bleeder nipples on this vacuum pump. Let me get this thing open up and we'll see what we get. So we're getting a bunch of junk out of it. So we got a vacuum leak on this. Still don't seal real good on that thing. We are holding a little bit of vacuum. Try to pull as much fresh fluid through it as I can. Turn off on hold the vacuum so I don't get air back in it. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. It's still a little syrupy looking, but definitely clearing up as we pump this thing, so I can get that on down through there. I'm going to check, make sure I got plenty of fluid still in my master cylinder. Yeah, we're good. Something else I'm going to do too is take a screwdriver and see if I can wedge somewhere and get the cylinder to pull in. If I can do that with it open, let me try this and see. If I open this up, yeah, I'm just trying to make sure these calipers actually do move here. Let me get this off my phone. Just a second. All right. So yeah, so the piston does move. So let me go in and put a vacuum back on it now. This thing's sucking air. It's hard to tell how much. I'm going to pull quite a bit of fluid through it. It's looking good. We're starting to get that clean fluid now. Keep that vacuum going while we shut it. Alright, let's go see how this is looking. We'll try the brake pedal a few times also. Yeah, we still got plenty of fluid. It's pulling it through though. How our brake pedal feels now. Oh yeah. So we got solid brakes now. We've got that taken care of. So I think we're about as good as we can go for right now, because the owner of the car is not home anymore, so I can't get them to push the pedal and help me bleed it the way I'd like to do it. But I think we're good. We got fresh fluid come back here, so that lets me know that we have started pulling fresh fluid from the master cylinder. What I did, I actually vacuumed out the master cylinder. It all looked kind of brown and nasty in there, so I sucked all that out and I put fresh in there before I pumped the pedal, so we got fresh brake fluid getting pulled all the way back here. So it looks like we're good. Let me just make sure this is good and tight here. We're good on our bleeder. So yeah. So let me get this all cleaned up. We actually didn't make too big of a mess. Yeah, you can see how nasty that looked. It wasn't too bad. This is not as bad as the front was. But I'm glad we didn't have to replace these calipers. I don't know where you'd find those things at if you had to replace them. They're a completely different design than what I'm used to seeing, for sure. But let me get this wheel back on here, get the back end put back together, and we'll try to see if it'll move on its own power and brake okay. So here's a look from inside. We'll just keep it in first gear here. She's running. Barely see out of the windshield. It's the first time this car's moved under its own power in about 5 years though. Runs pretty good here. Anyways, here's a good look at it pulled out. First time it's moved under its own power in about 5 years, so pretty good. We got the brakes all bled. They feel great actually. I feel like they're working really good. Not ready to get on the road yet. Like I said, it's still got so much rust in the tank. I don't really trust too much, but I'm going to try to run it and I'll soften out once I get the gas down low enough, and I'm going to drop the tank and we're going to just give it a good cleaning here, and then we'll I'm sure the owner will want to clean it up really good, so we'll detail it, and that'll be a part 2 to this video. But yeah, anyways, a really rare look at a cool little Datsun 200SX. We got a little clicking. Some of it might have a valve that's clicking a little bit. May need a valve adjustment. But look at this car out here in the driveway. It kind of reminds me of a Mustang, like the 80s Mustang. Has a little bit of that look to it. The dual headlights look really cool. Has a great looking front end on it. Very European look. Yeah. So anyways guys, thanks for following. That'll be a part 2 to this video, and I'll keep you guys posted.